Hi everybody and welcome to this Grace Note. Today I want to speak with those of you who are feeling like you're having to juggle a lot. Perhaps you have a lot of commitments, maybe you have a lot of overwhelm, maybe you're trying to run a business and you're a mom, or perhaps you're working a job and trying to get a business going, or maybe you just have a lot of family commitments, or life is somewhat taking over whilst you're wanting to focus somewhere else. So I was thinking about this, particularly this week when I spoke with a client, and this idea of time management. And I have a completely different perspective on time management. So I want to share that with you today. I know there's a lot of tried and tested kind of techniques and scheduling that you can do, and yes, it's important to prioritize, but I know in my life that time was something that I never felt I had enough of. I lived in a constant state of urgency, particularly when I was living my London life, and I was always rushing to get to work, rushing to finish work, rushing to get to something else. And at that time, I couldn't even imagine having any other commitments because I felt so pressured by time back in those days. And initially, when I left my day job and I took time out, of course, time seemed to open up. I seemed to have more time and more space, and inevitably I was convinced that that was also because I left my job. Over a period of time, as I started to build my business, I noticed myself getting back into that urgent energy, that rushing energy. It was like time kind of was running away from me again. And it wasn't until, I'd say it was about 2 years ago, that I would say I had a lot on my plate, a lot of things that I was juggling, but I didn't feel any of that rushing and urgency anymore. I noticed that that had fallen away. And as I was exploring with this client in particular around this, because she's a mom and she's juggling, managing her children, having time for her husband, dealing with her job, trying to start her business. It really looked like a good idea to her to compartmentalize her life, spend X number of hours over here, X number of hours with her husband, scheduling date nights, scheduling coaching hours, there was a lot of needing to manipulate time and also control time. And I asked her very innocently, does that feel like fun for you? And she admitted that it didn't, but she couldn't see another way. So here's my point, here's what I want you to hear today if you're in that scenario. As our thinking settles down, our bandwidth opens up. Our capacity to handle life's circumstances opens up, gets easier, gets more fluid, gets more graceful. And that's what I'm seeing more deeply about time management. It's that when we're living in a very constricted state of thought, where we have an awful lot of thinking going on and we're really revved up internally, then our bandwidth narrows. And with that, it seems like time and space and energy is lacking. As our mind comes back to center, comes back to a quieter space, which is why I always encourage you to be selfish about your state of mind. Because as it quietens down and it's not as revved up, you'll notice that your bandwidth opens up. And as a result of that bandwidth opening up, you're able to easily, gracefully engage whatever level of activity or commitments or responsibilities are in front of you, but you're doing it without that urgency and stress. See, that urgency and stress is really just representative of too much going on internally. And we've been conditioned to believe that the feelings of urgency and stress must mean we have to do things quickly and we better get on with it or else. I really started to notice for myself that any feelings of urgency were simple reminders that my state of mind was going too fast and that I was getting lost in insecure thought. So as I explored with this client more around her state of mind and her bandwidth opening up, her wisdom came to her that whilst she could schedule and compartmentalize, what she felt more hopeful about was the fact that she could just manage and juggle whatever was in front of her, depending on her state of mind. And so she is finding her way to do that. Again, I'm not saying that scheduling and using technique and following time management isn't a good idea. For some people, that's exactly what will settle down their mind. But I'm saying, let's see where this problem with time is really coming from. Let's see where this constriction is actually manifested from. And it is manifested through your revved up thinking. The busier and noisier it is internally, the more constricted and more pressurized and more stressful your world will appear externally. So I don't know what you're hearing in this one, but I'd love to have your comments. Feel free to comment below or let me know what's resonating here. I truly believe that we all have the capacity for a quieter state of mind. And from that place, we just get stuff done. From that place, we're not living in urgency and stress. We're just being effective and productive in the world. So I'm passionate about you really quietening down. Again, be selfish about that state of mind. What do you need to do each day to ensure that your bandwidth opens up? I know for me, it's so helpful first thing in the morning. You know, when we wake up, we tend to be in a quieter state of mind. And that is the time and space in which I will listen to recordings like this one. I will read something. I will do a meditation and ask wisdom for an answer. You know, do whatever you need to do to enable your bandwidth to widen, and know that that's your true nature. Your true nature is a quieter state of mind that knows how to be effective in the world. Your true nature is not stress and urgency. That's just the symptoms and feedback of the insecurity that's going on. Your true nature knows how to get everything done and is not concerned with time and energy and money. But in order for us to be in that place and live from that place, rather than look at the worldly ideas of time, energy, and money, let's look at opening up the state of mind. Let's look at settling down that revved up engine so that you can just do better in your world and have time. I hope this has been helpful, and I look forward to being with you very soon. Bye.